All right, listen up. This is it, the final briefing before you step into the arena. We're not just going to review a few formulas today. Nope. We are arming you with the master blueprint to absolutely conquer the AMC 8. So think of this as our last strategy session before the big game. Okay, let's dive in.
And you know what? That is the absolute truth. This is not your typical math test where you just crunch numbers. It's a strategic game. It's like a boss fight that demands way more than just calculation. It requires a solid plan, a sharp mind, and, well, a few secret weapons to spot the traps the test makers have laid out just for you.
So, let's talk about our first weapon. This one is designed to diffuse one of the most common, most sneaky traps on the entire test, the percentage trap. It looks so simple, but it's built to prey on your gut feelings and catch you completely off guard. But we're not going to let that happen. So here it is. Picture this. A stock has a fantastic day. It shoots up 50%. But then, the next day is just terrible and it drops 50%. Now, your gut, your intuition, it's probably screaming, yeah, of course, you're back to even, back where you started, right? Well, let's see what the math actually has to say about that.
Okay, let's break down exactly why our intuition is wrong here. We'll start with a nice, simple number, say $100. A 50% gain, that's easy, you're up to $150. But here, and this is the absolute key, the 50% loss is calculated on the new amount, on the $150, not your original $100. And half of $150 is $75. So you lose $75, leaving you with just $75.
And there it is, the final result. You're not back to even, you're down a whopping 25%. So what's the big takeaway? Never, ever add and subtract percentages like this. The real pro move is to always multiply the multipliers. A 50% gain is like multiplying by 1.5. A 50% loss is multiplying by 0.5. And what's 1.5 times 0.5? It's 0.75, a 25% loss, every time. All right, time for a next weapon. This one is for those problems that just look impossible. You know the ones with these gigantic exponents that seem like you need a supercomputer to have any hope of solving. But the secret isn't about brute force calculation, it's about finding a hidden pattern, a secret rhythm.
Take a look at this beast, finding the very last digit of 7 to the power of 2024. Now, if you try to actually punch this into a calculator, you'll be here all day. This is a classic signal on the AMC 8 that you're not supposed to do the hard work. You're supposed to look for a shortcut.
And here is that shortcut. See, we don't need the whole number. We only care about that last digit. So, 7 to the first power ends in a 7. 7 squared is 49. That ends in a 9. 7 cubed is 343, which ends in a 3. 7 to the fourth ends in a 1. And then what about 7 to the fifth? Well, it ends in a 7 again. And there it is. We found the code. It's a repeating cycle of 4 digits. 7, 9, 3, 1. Over and over again.
There's a name for this trick. It's called cyclicality. And to solve any problem like this, you just have to do one simple division. You take the exponent, in this case 2024, and you divide it by the length of the cycle, which for us is 4. Now, it just so happens that 2024 divides by 4 perfectly. There's a remainder of 0. And a remainder of 0 just means you've landed on the very last number in the pattern, the fourth one. So the answer is 1.
Okay, for our third and final weapon, we're diving into the world of geometry. Specifically, we're looking at how things change when you scale them up or down. This is another one of those areas where your intuition can totally lead you astray, especially when we jump from 2D shapes to 3D objects.
You absolutely have to remember this. Let's say you have a little cube, and you decide to double the length of every single one of its sides. How does that affect everything? Well, the surface area, which is a two-dimensional property, right, like the wrapping paper, it increases by a factor of 2 squared, so 4 times bigger. But the volume, the space inside, a three-dimensional property, it increases by a factor of 2 cubed. That's 8 times the original volume. It's a huge difference. Areas scale with the square, volumes scale with the cube. Don't forget it.
Okay, we've got our weapons. Now we need the battle plan, the master strategy for the whole test. Look, this isn't about solving every single problem. It's about scoring the most points you possibly can in just 40 minutes. And the key to that is something called strategic triage, knowing which problems to fight now and which ones to skip and save for later. Here's your 4-point mission brief. First,
Pacing. The first 10 or 12 problems are usually the easiest, so you want to blow through them in under 15 minutes. Second, triage. If a problem looks like it's going to be a total time sink, just put a star next to it and skip it. Come back if you have time. Third, intelligent guessing. If you can eliminate even 1 or 2 wrong answers, your odds go way up, so it's always worth taking a guess. And finally, the sanity check. After you solve something, just ask yourself, does this answer even make sense? If you calculate that a person is 250 years old, you probably made a mistake somewhere.
So there you have it. With those weapons and that battle plan, you are ready. And to help put it all together, I'm leaving you with one final problem to chew on. This one isn't about some fancy formula. It's about pure logical reasoning, which is a huge part of the AMC.
So, you've got 3 friends in a race. Their chances of winning are all linked together in a ratio. How do you figure out the actual probabilities when all you have are these relationships? Think it through. Set up some simple variables, use the one big rule that all probabilities have to add up to 1, and you can find the answer. You've got the tools, now go solve it. Good luck.